She-Hulk, Season 1, Episode 9, or like what I like to call the final episode, because there will probably not be a Season 2 of this show. So this is now no longer the season finale. We're going to call it the series finale for She-Hulk Attorney at Law.
You don't think it'll get a Season 2, huh?
I don't know, man. I don't know. They went out of their way to reduce Kevin Feige to a computer robot, AI, whatever.
Well, maybe reduce, or maybe it's a compliment.
I don't know. But we're talking about it because that's what we do. We talk about stuff we don't want to talk about every week. I'm kidding.
Oh. We talk about stuff we want to talk about too.
No. So one thing though, and
love this intro.
Yes, if we had downvotes and upvotes, this would be a total upvote, because the intro is it reminds me of like $6 Million Man, or
oh no, it's a play on the original Incredible Hulk TV show, and it's exactly that.
I was going to get there, but you interrupted me.
You can't say $6 Million Man.
I was going to end with the Incredible Hulk original TV show. Then I was going to say, because that's pretty much what it is. But it's okay.
No, it is what it is. They use the exact same scenes.
Oh, okay. So
yeah.
Yeah, and I love, like, everything about this was very fitting to what they were trying to talk about. And then they had like the old computer, and it's just very, very, very clever the way they did this. And she freaks out. And
throwing tables, right? I love throwing the tables.
Right. The savage She-Hulk.
So great when she turned her head, just like in Bruce Banner, in the original. I just totally drew a blank on his name. But just like in the original TV series, they
Lou Ferrigno?
No, it wasn't Lou Ferrigno. Well, Lou Ferrigno played the Hulk. I'm talking about the guy who played Bruce Banner, not the Hulk. But I can't remember his name right now.
Yeah.
But she was having a dream, and it was nice. It was well done.
Very well done. And then she went in jail. Now, why is she in the Super Hulk jail? Because Doomcock last episode released her sex tape at what I am assuming is the Lawyer Grammys, and then Doomcock got on screen and said that she was a slut, so she got mad and she tried to punch her way through the studio, which she did as the Hulk, and then everyone thinks she's big scary Hulk now, and so she has to go to Hulk jail because she did all these damage, and and she actually has a good point, like, why am I getting in trouble when other people get, it was an appropriate response. People get mad all the time and they don't get in trouble. Well, you're the Hulk. That's why. Yeah. Makes sense.
Or was the message that you're a girl?
No, that's
the underlying message. Do you think the underlying message was this wouldn't have happened to Bruce? This, how many times did the Abomination have to do something terrible, break things before he got locked up? I don't know.
Just that one movie. So no, I don't think it works because it happened to Abomination first. I don't think it's because she's a woman.
Well, what I'm trying to say is not because she's a woman, but bad things happen to her because of her situation, and she doesn't deserve to be the Hulk. You know what I'm saying? You don't think that was undertone? I thought maybe it was.
I don't think it was. I'm sorry, Doomcock. Can I have my brother back, please?
I wasn't.
I'm messing with you.
I'm simply saying I think that there's that undertone is here. Like, she doesn't deserve to be there, but she's there because she's She-Hulk.
Yeah. So I do think people are afraid of the Hulk, Abomination, like those kind of characters, and like when they lose control. I don't know. She did sort of lose control.
First incident. It's weird.
Right. It is one incident, and no one died.
One wall.
And no one died.
No one died. She went through a wall. It's just like overreaction. And that's what I'm saying is the whole show has been basically like this weird overreaction because it's She-Hulk as opposed to other superheroes. And so I thought that it just kind of lines up with the whole thing. Maybe.
Was it? It looked like
Bionic. She's never allowed to Hulk out again.
Bionic Woman's another one of those shows. They had the similar like.
Oh, yeah. The style.
All right. So she has to wear. She's not allowed to Hulk out. She can leave, but they have to put this inhibitor on her. Which, now there's one thing. Didn't Mark Ruffalo at the very beginning of the series say that he had he was using the inhibitor he made, but it only would work for him.
Right.
So that's actually like a major problem because it only works for him. Yet Abomination had one,
Right.
also, right, and now she has one. So
Right.
well, you guys figured out that technology really quick.
Well, that was a mistake. Well, because they're supposed to show us, but the show's only like 5 minutes long, so unfortunately, they didn't have time to show us. They just had to do it.
Maybe he should have not said it was even for him.
Yeah, that would have been better.
Right.
But they wrote that back in episode 1. Sorry.
That's it. It was so long ago. Oh, actually, it was like 4 hours ago. Okay, got it. All right. All right. So she gets released to her parents. She's fired from her job.
I love what her parents say. People go to jail every day.
No, prison every day.
Or prison, right?
Yeah, which is even more ridiculous. Like, there are a lot more people that go to jail because you can go to jail from being drunk, right? You can go into the drunk tank for a night, but prison is like where you go permanently, not permanent. I'm sorry, semi-permanently, as in like you've already been tried, and like jail is where you're at while you're waiting to be for court. You know?
Yeah, it's just a parent thing to say, trying to make your kid feel better.
It's funny though. Her parents are hilarious.
Yeah.
Her assistant said she's not leaving because they pay her nicely, but And now here comes the media thing. Oh, she's so bad. She's horrible, savage She-Hulk because she got mad. It was one time after being so far a service for good, and now she gets mad and breaks a wall, and now she's horrible. This was all super unbelievable, by the way. So she shouldn't have been arrested. No one got hurt. And why is all the focus on her and not on the Doomcock character that released revenge porn at the lawyer Grammys?
Because everyone is against She-Hulk.
Makes no sense.
I'm with you.
Plus, I'm actually very upset that Hulk King was not wearing his Doomcock mask at the end of the series.
Right.
All right. Yeah,
Galagate.
Galagate. Blah, blah, blah. Reporters. And she's got to leave her place because she can't afford it anymore. A lot of this is happening like really fast, too. Like,
yeah, it is. Yeah. They got to get through it. They only get 4.5 minutes to tell the whole thing.
they only have 4.5. The time, every time you say a time, it's less and less and less.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the dad's comment, or Chris was saying here, the dad's comment about there being a drought. I don't care if there's a drought. I got pressure.
Right.
He's spraying the people. That was good.
Right. It's funny. The lawyer has the Aaron Brockovich poster. That's like her whole room is like basic lady lawyer room.
Yeah, appropriate.
Yeah, appropriate. She's trying to find out. She wants to sue the creator of Intelligentsia. So she needs to find out who it is, but it's hard to find because it's going through shell companies. Look, it's a website. You can register a website anywhere on the planet. You can host a server anywhere. In fact, if the server is hosted in the Netherlands, you can't even legally ask who owns the server. You can't even legally ask where the server is located. Like, you can look it up with geotags, but it can go to a server farm somewhere in the middle of the Netherlands that 4 million people rent servers from, and they will not give you the information. They're like the Swiss of the internet.
Right.
Just to be clear, the Pirate Bay ran for over a decade out of the Netherlands without any legal repercussions. And the only way they were finally able to shut it down was by illegally raiding the warehouse that had the servers and stealing the servers. They actually broke like 15 Netherlands laws to shut down the Pirate Bay.
And that's how powerful Hollywood is.
And by the way, did anyone get in trouble for that? No. In fact, the only people that got in trouble were the owners of Pirate Bay, and they were tried for actual pirating.
Nice.
They were tried for modern day, I'm going to get on a boat and steal your boat pirating.
Did they have to walk the plank?
No, a couple of them are still in jail. You guys should watch that movie.
That was funny.
Movie is called AFK. It is funny, yes. They walked the proverbial plank. They made no money on that thing.
Thank you. They weren't keelhauled though. That's nice.
Yeah, they were not. Okay, so she's trying to figure out this website. Her mom is interrupting her. Typical blah 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 whatever stuff. So she needs a mental.
Fourth wall.
What's that?
She's breaking the fourth wall.
Oh yeah.
She starts saying, "Is this show working for you guys? Is this working for you guys?"
Right. So she's constantly doing that. No. What's interesting is she does text her cousin the Hulk, and in her phone it's called Smug Hulk, which I think is funny.
That's funny.
Hey, what are you up to? He doesn't answer because he's in space or whatever. And she texts. How do you say that word? How do you say the word? How do you say that word?
Texted?
Plural. She texted. Texted. Yeah.
Texts. Yeah.
She texted, or she texts Emil Blonsky, a.k.a. the Abomination, but it is not delivered, which means he's not looking at his phone. But he did offer that she can go to his ranch or compound.
We don't talk about compounds here because Emil could be a cult leader. Could be. And all you members know what we're talking about. The inside jokes galore.
Oh, man, I remember.
We've been having a lot of them lately.
She's going to the compound and to get a mental health break. Her former assistant uploads her dancing like a clueless idiot in college to Intelligentsia. I gotta be honest, I would have known that was a fake headline the second I saw it. Like, it should have been like "stupid slut" or something like that.
They're trying to lay back a little bit.
Are they?
Yeah. Kids are watching this. Remember, we talked about this last week.
Yeah, I mean,
they got my message.
Yeah, they got your message. I mean, all I'm saying is I watched I peruse Reddit sometimes, and like this is the wrong headline. All I'm saying.
Reddit, yeah.
And she immediately gets a response from someone inviting her to a physical meet and greet, like immediately, and she says, "Well, that was easy," because it was.
Actually, this is really funny. Yeah.
Am I a genius?
She says, am I a genius? This character is actually pretty good.
Yeah. And she gets the message and it says, "Can't wait to see you here, bro." And so she's like, I need to get Pug's help because she's not a bro. Now, first of my problems, like, I hate that they all talk the way we talk. Like, all the bad guys just talk like us.
Yeah. Well, that's because our community is the bad guys.
But I'm not a bad guy, okay? Okay, bro?
I know that.
I'm not a bad guy,
but
bro.
You know what? They don't know that. You know that. I know that. Our fans know that. The people who watch us know that. Other people in our community know that. But the people who write this show don't know that.
They think we're the bad guys.
Right.
And we're just mad that there's a woman Hulk.
Why is there a woman? Why? How come women didn't earn anything? I mean, come on, guys. I mean, you're punching down, and that's my. If I had a downvote thing, it'd be like that. You're punching down at a YouTube community. Actually, you're in Hollywood. You're a Marvel show. Come on, grow up.
To be fair, I think that they're punching wildly all around them because they also punch up at their own boss pretty soon.
But I don't know if they're punching up at him. But yeah, we'll see.
She's reading a book by Emil. It's called Deep Haikus. So fitting to this guy.
That's pretty funny.
And so Pug and the assistant go to their first meeting. Pug is wearing, I like this. She goes, "Put your Bluetooth on." He goes, "Isn't it? People are gonna think it's weird that I have a Bluetooth." He goes, "Trust me, you're gonna fit right in because like apparently bros just walk around with Bluetooths on."
With you, yeah.
I mean, I guess that sort of makes sense. I do wear my Bluetooth around my neck all the time, but
I don't use a Bluetooth, but I'm old, so.
Right. So he goes in. Big men dream big. It's like a men's support group, and it's all about like think big, dream big. I feel like
this is a meetup. This is a meetup,
right? Well, I mean, but it reminds me of either reminds me of like a men's support group or like one of those Tony Robbins conferences or someone trying to sell a crypto called like, not a scam, notascam.com or whatever.
Right.
Or a crypto called it's like the actual name of the crypto is called rug pull. You know what I mean? Like This is one of those. A rug pull is
Yeah,
when you rob someone on their crypto, by the way.
And you know, look, there's what they're doing here. They're taking a shot at YouTubers who have complaints about the way Marvel has kind of ladyized the MCU, I guess is what we
Womanized.
call it. I don't. Yeah, I mean, there is a lot of it out there. And what I thought was really bad about this was they start out with the first guy that you see actually says, "I'm not saying that women can't be blah blah blah, but I'm just saying they can't be." You know, and you notice when we talk about a lot of this stuff, we try to be very careful about, look, we're not saying anything bad about this or that, whether it's the LGBTQ community or ladies doing this or whatever. We're just saying, you know, you know, what we're saying something else. We're saying that they didn't. Yeah.
Yeah. We criticize, we whenever we criticize something, it's not based on the color of someone's skin, their sexuality, or anything like that. It's always based on the actual show. The writing, does it make sense? Does that character work? Is it annoying?
Right.
Is it too emotional? Like this guy says, too many emotions. Is the character likable? Is what that person doing even making sense? Right? But it's always reduced down to they don't like Michael Burnham because she's African American.
Right, or she's a woman. And the problem is that's not what we're saying. And they make fun of us saying that here. They make fun of the people in our community saying that. I'm not saying. So these people don't watch our videos. Honestly, these writers aren't watching our videos. They're just making fun of these snippets that they get. They don't really understand what we're trying to say. What we're trying to say is, you know, if you just replace a male character with a female character, then that's not the right way to do it. Create a new character. Don't make them something better. She-Hulk is an actual character in the comics, and it makes total sense to have her. There's no reason for you to punch down. So you could have, this could have been an incredible episode with like really smart and like creative writing and everything happening here. But then you got to like punch down at people who are criticizing Marvel, not even She-Hulk necessarily. She-Hulk got criticized for having bad graphics, not because there's a girl Hulk. Okay? Nobody did that.
Right.
Nobody. Right? But no, that's what they're doing. They're attacking it like that's what happened. That's not what happened. Okay? Now when they brought in what's her name? Brie to do the Marvel stuff.
Brie Larson.
I think that's where a lot of this is coming from, the Brie Larson stuff.
Well, yeah, okay, so you brought in a character that, an actress to play a character that was completely unnecessary, and then you pigeonhole or shoehorn that movie in between $2 billion movies. You equate the success of that movie to the movie itself, and not the fact that it's between Infinity War and Endgame, the biggest cliffhanger movie franchise ending of a franchise ever. And then that same actress is mad that people are saying, hey, well, you know, that movie didn't deserve $1 billion. Right, this movie wasn't very good. And she actively, before the movie even comes out, she's actively attacking fans for being men or being sexist or being racist. Well, she didn't want, or whatever.
Yeah, she didn't want men. She didn't want men to be men media members out there, or they had to be of color or women.
Right. She said only
interviewer. So there was like a lot of problems.
Yeah, she couldn't. White guys couldn't interview her.
Yes,
which
that's
is
what it was.
That is so unbelievably racist. Do you understand? Imagine if that was a reverse statement.
Well, and sexist.
Sexist in every way. Imagine only white women can interview me. Like, whatever. I'm sorry. What if only white? Like, it's so dumb and reductive and insulting that her movie was DOA before it even came out, because the actress cannot stop putting her uneducated foot in her mouth. And then when the movie comes out and we watch it and we review it as it is, and we're like, well, it's not very good. It adds nothing to the story. It doesn't add anything to the MCU. It's completely unnecessary. In fact, I would argue if you took the character scenes out of Endgame of Captain Marvel It would change nothing. Nothing would be changed. You added a character to check some boxes before your big movie, and then you're mad when you got called out about it.
Yeah, that's a good point. And Chris actually makes a good point here. Not really directed towards us. This wasn't really directed towards like our content per se, because we don't really delve into this kind of thing a whole lot. But there's a lot of people in our community, I think, that do say, look, it's not earned. Some of the comments in there were stuff I could totally see Gary saying, or even, well, Doomcock, he probably says some things he shouldn't say.
Right.
But, but there's people out there who don't go to that level. Like Gary from Nerdrotic, I would say, is one. I would say the Quartering, Jeremy. These are guys who, this is who they're targeting, these guys, really.
The Quartering is very careful, though.
But I understand, but that's who they're talking about right now, for real.
Right.
Like everybody that points out these types of things all the time, that's who these guys are. And I just like, it frustrates me that did they need to do this? Like the entire bad guy for the entire series were the real bad guy. It wasn't like somebody trying to use her superhero powers to do something like would typically for a superhero. It was a bunch of dude YouTubers that wanted to bring her down. That was the bad guy for the whole series, for the whole season 1, Brian. Mm-hmm. The bad guy was a bunch of YouTubers talking crap about She-Hulk that wanted to get her blood. And I mean, that's what it was.
Right. It was literally a bunch of YouTubers trying to get her blood.
It's a bunch of YouTubers. That's what your bad guy is.
Chris says, complaints is kind of nice to say, and they were directed to you guys. That's why you guys rock. But there are lots of those who don't. And you're right. Yeah. I mean, there are a-holes out there. That's true.
Oh, yeah, no, 100% true. Yeah, there are.
But on both sides, and I don't want to, I hate to be that guy, but on both sides there are a-holes here. I'm just saying, right, you're generalizing an entire group.
But there's not a lot of big YouTubers that are jerks. You know what I'm saying? Not that I can think of off the top of my head. That are, I mean, okay, let's just be honest. Doomcock kind of says some things he shouldn't say.
Right, he does. Yeah.
He does. So I get that. But he's not like a representative of all the YouTubers.
No.
You know what I mean?
Plus,
or dudes that
plus I think he's playing a character. Like an actual character. Right. Like he's the heel, right?
He's mad right now that this dude is Doomcock.
Right. He's like, why is this soy boy Doomcock? Should have been a really buff guy. Right. It's me, but I'm pretty sure, I think his whole stick is that he plays like the villain. Like he plays the heel, like in wrestling, Yeah,
pretty much.
All right. Hail Doomcock.
No, we don't. I don't agree with the stuff he said.
No, honestly. We don't. We don't agree with most of it.
We have fun with it, but I think that I don't know. I don't like that they did this. I don't feel like it was an appropriate. They're trying to make a social statement on this show, and they had a pretty clever thing going here. Just make it a cool superhero show with a female lawyer, because frankly speaking, Tatiana Maslany was great this season.
Yeah, she is great.
She's great.
Oh, there was this moment at the end where she was like, something about you want to bring in Daredevil or whatever, and she's like, yeah, I smashed that or whatever.
Right. I mean, she was great, honestly.
Yeah.
It was. They just didn't have to go this route.
To be honest, though, Lady Thor didn't make sense if you were replacing Thor. But the way they did it, the way they did it made complete sense.
It did. Well, they followed the comics.
Well, no.
In the end,
yeah. So they sort of followed the comic books. They actually pulled out of the tailspin that the comics had when they tried to replace Thor.
Right. Well, what I'm saying is they sent her to. Yeah, she dies.
Right.
But Jane dies.
Alert.
But hopefully you've seen the dang thing. But honestly, a lot of the things that the people in the community were upset about, that when Phase 4 was coming, they're like, oh my gosh, they're replacing all of the male superheroes with women. There was a fear of that. That's true. Because that wouldn't have been cool to like just change everybody, but you had everything was going to be focused on Supergirl, Batgirl, Lady Thor, whatever. Lady Loki. I don't know why you'd have a Lady Loki. Loki's already like,
you slipped DC in there for a second because they were doing that for DC too. They were trying to replace Batman with Batman and Superman with the women counterparts. Yeah.
But all those things were happening. But Lady Loki makes no sense because Loki's like already half lady, right? I'm pretty sure. Anyway, so
Shane doesn't like the Loki series, by the way.
I mean, I heard it's great, but I haven't watched it. So
Why do you always dog on Loki though? You always make fun of that guy. Is it because you don't like the
know.
actor?
I like Loki. I like him.
You
You know what?
always take shots at that guy.
You think so?
You do. I all the time. It's like you somehow always have something to complain about with Loki.
I liked that he sacrificed himself.
Okay.
He redeemed himself to me.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, but I didn't see the series, so I don't know. But yeah, so I just feel like they're trying to say something here, and they took a kind of what could have been a cool show, and I don't know.
All right. So, anyways, back to the YouTuber meetup. So it does remind me, by the way, of like one of those like men conferences at the Hillsong Church or something like that. Like all these posters like today is the day, or maybe like an AA meeting. You know?
Yeah.
You never gone to any of those things. You never been to an AA meeting?
I have.
Okay.
No, I have.
Yeah. So
I've been to them.
it has that same vibe. It's like you are powerful. You are men. Take control of your household and seize the future. You're like, okay, Ted. Okay.
Yeah, it's a cult activity. I get it.
Right at the compound.
At the compound.
Yeah. So she wants to talk to Abomination, but apparently he's in a barn. In the barn or something. It's funny. Like the second he said that, I was like, oh, so he's a part of it or whatever. But he wasn't actually a part of it. He was, yeah, he was getting paid to like speak, right?
You're like, oh, here we go. Got those put together.
Right. She says, be powerful.
Okay. I mean, it's funny, I guess. Be fun. I don't know.
Yeah, they should have given Abomination like a man bun. It would have been hilarious. Like Tony Robbins. All right, so he's like gonna give a speech. Apparently he was paid to give a speech. Or whatever. I don't know. And boom, Jen walks in.
So this was all kind of very interesting the way they did this. Like nobody was really outraged. Jen's not outraged. Abomination's not outraged. The guys aren't even really that outraged.
Right.
It's kind of like this whole weird like, what's going on here, right? And then Tim here feels guilty. Well, I was getting paid, and it's just kind of
right.
funky.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, it's weird. So it was messy. This is great because around this time, I'm like, this is sort of messy. Like, how are they going to tighten this up and clean it up? And then it just continues to get more and more messy.
Worse. Yeah, it gets more like, okay, now why are you here? And
right, it gets messier and messier and messier. He said, "Oh, we stole your blood while you were sleeping, and I made myself a Super Hulk serum." And you're like, wait a minute, what? Like, wait, so you can just like, I thought that the Hulk had to be like specifically a certain, that the reason why it works for her is because she's related to the original Hulk. Like,
is that why?
Right, because so the Hulk blood is not anyone can be the Hulk. Like it's very unique type of physiology that can transform like this and not just die of gamma radiation. Yeah.
Are you just saying that, or is that
no? That's true. So
is
not
that a comic book thing?
Yeah. So not anyone that gets blasted with gamma rays are going to become the Hulk. Some of them just die of radiation sickness. But something's
got it. So she became the Hulk, and this is something I didn't know. She became the Hulk because she was related to Bruce.
Right. She has the same unique setup.
They did not say that.
I don't know. Maybe they didn't. I don't know.
I don't remember that. Or maybe they did. I didn't catch it.
I do love this though. Like the guy goes to attack her, and the Abomination actually picks her up. And
yeah, that was interesting. Like he saves her.
Right. But then the Hulk comes in. You're like, okay, so this is a mess. And in my mind, right here, I was like, this is a horrible ending to a show that was trying to be ultra clever. And I thought that,
you did? I didn't think that.
I thought they're trying to do this like classic. I actually thought they're trying to do this classic superhero ending or whatever, where all these weird surprise fights and CGI fights and whatever. And I'm like, this is not working. And
so I thought.
Go ahead.
So my thinking was when this happened that it was going to end up funny somehow. Like I didn't think it was. They could have ended this. I get what they did here, and it's clever, but they could have ended it funny somehow with Bruce coming in to be comic relief. That's what I thought was coming.
You're right. They could have done something. But what's funny to me is that while this was happening, I literally in my mind said, "What is even happening here?" And then the character says it, and when the character says it, Tatiana was there. Like everyone.
That was weird. Yeah. So when Tatiana was there, I'm like, okay, what the heck? That's when I'm like, what are they doing
This
here?
makes no sense.
Titania.
Right.
Yeah.
And then this was great. Hopefully I don't get copyright claimed here.
This is super clever. I got to tell you, they deserve huge kudos for doing this.
Yeah, this would be a huge upvote. Like we've been complaining about this show for every episode now, pretty much. But like this was on.
The creativity of the show is good.
What's that?
But the creativity of the show is good. The story is where I think they've made some mistakes. But like the actual like creativity of the show reflects the comics and breaking the fourth wall and a lot of this type of stuff, you know, and they really took it to kind of another level. But they just, you know, they just couldn't not have social commentary, and that bothered me.
Right. Yeah. So she even asks, "Is this working for you?" And then it pops out to the screen, which coincidentally is like the Roku screen, the same same screen. Yeah.
I thought it looked like the Disney Plus screen.
No, this is maybe it does. I use Roku, and this is exactly what my Roku looks like. Exact.
Well, you can't see it, but she's going to pop out behind you.
Yeah, so she pops out of her own screen here.
Behind you, yeah.
What, Jude?
There she is.
Yeah. Yeah, this is all cool. It's super clever. I can't play the whole thing.
She actually kicks in. I wanted to see which one she kicked in because I missed it.
It was Avengers Assembled.
Okay, because it was next to Loki. I remember that.
Yeah, so it's like the behind the scenes of Avengers.
Is that what that is? Okay,
yeah.
Cool. Well, that was really clever.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really clever.
Kudos to the creators for that.
Yeah, that's super clever. All right, now she's in there, and she's got to go. And Avengers Assemble, that's where you find the writers, and that's where you find Kevin Feige's office. It's pretty much.
They're literally, they're in the studio lot here.
Right. So like, if she exists in her own universe, and she breaks the fourth wall to talk to us. Now she physically broke the fourth wall, and now she's in our world.
Yes. Well done.
Very clever. Very clever.
Very well done. And nobody freaks out about it, which I think is hilarious.
Right. And now she's in the writing room, the She-Hulk writing room. Oh man, I want to see a version of this with Terry Metellus being like, okay, well, we're gonna bring the whole crew of Star Trek: Next Generation back. I'm assuming this is what all writers' rooms look like, just like a group of people throwing ideas at the wall, you know?
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
So she starts complaining, like, oh, the guy steals my blood to get superpowers, blah, blah. She starts complaining about how the series is ending. And they basically are saying, like, this is the formula. This is, like, how we do things. And when she says this is what the story that Kevin wants, I knew she was talking about Kevin Feige, but the subtitles gave me the acronym, and it actually sort of spoiled it for me. Because that's what
the K.E.V.I.N. Yes, it did.
Yeah.
As soon as they did that, I went, oh, wait a second. That's not the Kevin Feige we're thinking of.
Right. Yeah. And then no one talks to K.E.V.I.N.
Yeah.
That's funny. And she's going to go talk to Kevin. And this guy looks like Tom Constantino, by the way.
But Tom would have a better job than that.
But Tom would have a better job. It sort of looks like Tom, the guy,
a little bit, yeah.
Our friend from New Orville. She has to sign non-disclosure. Security.
I love that. I love the whole NDA thing because everybody's always complaining about NDAs.
Yeah, we have to sign an NDA just to like talk to someone loosely, an actor that happened to be on the series. That
Yeah.
And she goes into Feige's office, and yes, it's MODOK, basically. MODOK. Yeah, Kevin is like the computer from Portal, or he's an AI. It stands for something.
I know that I believe that Kevin. I don't think they were punching up.
No,
I think Kevin Feige thinks this is hilarious. I think that Kevin is saying absolutely yes all the way on this. Because because the whole point of She-Hulk was, and this is what Jennifer is saying. Jennifer Walters is this, and the title of the episode, whose show is this? Right? She-Hulk Attorney at Law, they don't want it to be just a regular superhero story. They want it to be different. And that's, I think, what they're
Right.
talking about here. Not
Well,
that all that stuff is bad.
right.
It's just not for She-Hulk.
Right. But I think that they did amp up the silliness in order to get you to feel the same way before she made that breakthrough, literally and figuratively.
You have to, I think, to some degree. But I don't think any of the way Marvel's done their stuff is ridiculous or wrong.
Well, I mean, did you see the end of Shang-Chi?
Yes, I did. I liked that movie.
Okay.
I mean, I enjoyed it.
How about the only good part of the Eternals was the very, very end, which also doesn't actually make a lot of sense, but at least it makes other movies better. But like, of course, like that would be a planetary issue. Like they ignore some things in order to have these big endings. And I would argue that even though Ant-Man makes less money, their smaller endings feel more intimate and feel more realistic, even though it's a superhero movie.
I mean, it's hard, because you had Endgame, and it's like, how are you supposed to follow that up? Look at Thor: Love and Thunder. Consequences. If the universe is not in danger in all these movies, then it's kind of a letdown. So maybe that's what they're talking about, and maybe they all agree with that, and there needs to be some sort of a reset.
Well, maybe because you've set yourself up that way, though. Like,
I mean, Endgame. What do you do? Like, you have to have Endgame.
Right. Okay. So yes, and Endgame was honestly, I don't expect there to ever be a movie like it. But you don't have to follow that up with the next. And I said this when we complained about Discovery. Why is it every season the universe is ending? You need to focus on the characters more. Make the story about the characters. Ant-Man, for 2 successful movies, in my opinion, did that. They were personal stories. They didn't make as much money, but you can build up to it still.
I think Eternals is a little bit underrated, honestly.
I didn't like any of the characters.
I watched it again recently. It's not bad.
Really?
It's not bad. I kind of like it. And it's got some Earth history in it, which I kind of like. And it's got a plot twist.
That's fair.
It's not bad.
I didn't like any of the characters, really.
It's got Angelina Jolie in it. And that's what everybody's like, okay, great.
Well, no, hold up. That's not fair, because when I saw Angelina Jolie and Salma Hayek in the same movie, I was like, instant watch.
Yeah, but that's your little guy talking. It's not your I love superhero movies guy talking. You know what I mean? Yes. It's like, yeah, I get you.
My little guy also loves superhero movies, just so you guys know. Okay.
Especially ones with the girls who are,
Look, I actually think we didn't get enough of them. We got so much of the character that we were just introduced to by the actress that probably didn't have the chops to pull it off, right? She felt very timid, and we didn't get
trouble, yeah.
Right. We didn't get enough in that movie. I know we're talking about the movie, but we didn't get enough of the big personality characters like I'm forgetting his name right now, but the Indian guy.
Oh yeah, well, he was like flavoring though for that movie.
Okay, all right.
Nanjiani would have been too much to run him full time on that one. The problem is that you're right. The girl that played the role was the tough one. But anyways, let's talk She-Hulk because
yeah, my bad. I don't think every movie has to have an ending event like this. I think that you need to make a group of personal, low stakes movies to flesh out the characters before you throw them into a galactic ending event.
Fair enough.
Which is why I don't like Captain Marvel, by the way. FYI. Same reason. She just got thrown into a galactic ending event immediately.
Well, it was she was shoehorned in, and that was the problem with it.
Right.
She didn't get her, before Avengers movies, really.
Right, yeah. There was no time to even like learn about her or learn to like her. Anyways,
and I don't want to keep taking it someplace, but Peacemaker is a great example of a world-ending event or a universe-ending, world-ending event that ended and was still great. So you can have those,
right,
and still be good.
Yeah, and still have character. Like you saw in that one season of Peacemaker, he grew so much.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a great example, Shane. My God, what a great example it is.
And I think Jennifer Walters is a good character, and the dichotomy between Jennifer and She-Hulk is is a conflict that makes sense. She mentions it here herself. So you could have had any ending. You could have had any ending you wanted because you've already told an interesting story. Just make sure you have some sort of completion of the She-Hulk Jennifer Walters ego issue. And guess what? They did in the end.
That's true. Yeah, the assistant in Eternals, Chris, was hilarious, by the way.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so Kevin's president. So she basically gets Kevin, the robot Kevin, to agree to make changes. And, she gets Nick's Bruce. He's not part of it. Don't make that guy Hulk. And she makes a bunch of changes right there, and he just sort of clips them. She complains about the fact that they have daddy issues in the MCU, which I guess I see that sort of. I don't know. I guess because Tony Stark had daddy issues, Thor had daddy issues. But every Disney movie has like something like a parent dies or something, right? Like it's a pretty common thread, especially in storytelling. But a lot of heroes are born from like extreme tragedy like that, and not just in the comic books, but like that is it's an easy origin story to tell. Like, oh, Bruce Wayne lost his parents and became Batman. Superman lost his planet and became Superman. Like it's a very common storytelling trope.
Very true.
All right, so she changes the ending, and she goes back. It's daytime. Cops are there. They get the guy. They're gonna sue him. He thinks he's about to be killed, but instead she basically just says she's just gonna serve him. That's it.
I know, but the final message is there, and this is, gotta say it. The final message here is that when she makes this choice, is that I'm better than you, or I'm bigger than you, or I will take the higher road than you would.
Right. And she's going to send Doomcock to jail.
That's it. Yeah. Or Doomcock's going to have to pay a bunch of money for whatever he did.
Yeah. And I am thoroughly surprised that there has not been an Intelligentsia clone yet made. I don't understand that.
I'm sure it's out there somewhere.
I've looked. I didn't see it.
You looked. I'm like, I looked.
For it. Remember, she asked Daredevil to be there because something about smashing. I thought that was clever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like Tatiana. I think she's a great actress. She's fun.
Yeah.
And there's large portions of this series that I thought was actually pretty entertaining and funny. The overall match thing is definitely heavy-handed, and there are parts of this show that honestly don't make a lot of sense. But in the grand scheme of MCU shows, this is certainly not the worst.
Well, I think it's the first one I've watched.
Oh. Okay.
So I will take your word for it. As far as like the streaming shows.
Right.
Yeah, this is the first one I've watched.
I liked Loki. I liked how sci-fi it was. WandaVision was okay, but it's only worth really one watch. And the second I'm not going to kill it here, but with the second that the reveal in WandaVision is made, it loses all of its teeth in an interesting plot. This was genuinely funny. Now, the entire episode was 7 minutes and 23 seconds. I'm saying the 26 minutes looks like. So
is that how long it was?
That's it. Cool. 26 minutes.
Hey, they had a longer one this time. That was good.
Yeah,
the finale was a little longer.
Officially, by the way, this clip is going to be 43 minutes, which is almost double what the length of the episode was.
We've done it. We've made She-Hulk longer. Fantastic.
Listen, guys, hit that subscribe button on the way to the comment section. Let us know what you guys thought of the series finale of She-Hulk, because I thoroughly doubt there'll be a season 2. Because it's not just because it's of its performance. I also believe that Tatiana is like, oh, this world that I'm joining is just too much. And I don't think she's a great actress. I don't think she's going to want to deal with this anymore.
Well, and it all depends on what she gets offered. If she doesn't get some good offers and they come back with a little bit of cash in hand, maybe. Do people want a second season of She-Hulk? I mean, where could they go with the character that they haven't already gone? I don't know. They'd have to have a good idea, I think, to make it work. Because honestly, the ego issue between Jennifer and She-Hulk was really the most interesting part of the whole season.
Right. Yeah. Okay. That's it. Let us know in the comment section what you guys thought.